Good morning, Katie Munn here with Monday Musings. It is a beautiful fall day here in Portland, Maine. Today we are going to be talking about gratitude and how to get in the attitude of gratitude. So gratitude comes up a lot in November because of Thanksgiving, and it's a beautiful time to reflect on what we're thankful for. And sometimes if you're not in the attitude of gratitude, if you are going through a hard time in your life, or you may want to be like, I'm so grateful for all of these things, but I just don't feel it. That's what we're going to be working on today, is to be able to feel and really touch in with those things that we're grateful for within our life, because we have so many beautiful things to be grateful for. So cultivating an attitude of gratitude does take some mindfulness, and it does take some changing of behaviors. And it makes sense why it might be hard to cultivate this attitude. The society we live in is one of there's never enough, right? It's kind of a scarcity mentality. And if you grew up in a scarcity mentality, home when you were younger, maybe there's poverty. Like I experienced that it's hard to sometimes be thankful, because it's like you should be thankful for what you have, maybe not want more, or maybe not appreciate what you do have. And we see this all in the media. There are reality TV stars that have all these amazing things, and there's always something to aspire to, which is really beautiful. But sometimes when we're trying so hard to aspire for a certain thing, we forget what we do have right now. And being thankful, I truly believe, of what we do have right now. I talk a lot about, being in the present moment. If we're grateful for what we have right now, if we're in the present moment, then it's a lot easier to call in what you want, because you are cultivating that feeling of abundance, if you will. So if you're having trouble getting into a feeling of gratitude, and you might be like, well, what is a feeling of gratitude? What do you mean by that? So the best way I personally experience it, how I can explain it, is when everything's sparkly and shiny. So I walk down the street and I might be like, look at that tree and that leaf. Oh, they're so beautiful. Look at that little dog. I'll be in the grocery store and I'll be like, look at this awesome product. And I have the money to buy it. It's like everything is brand new. Everything is exciting. Everything is just like, wow. This is amazing, right? I have running water. I wake up in the morning, I can walk. Just these very simple things that we take for granted. When you're in sort of receptive, receiving gratitude mode, that's how you feel. And I was talking to my roommate about this, and she's like, everything normally is sparkly and shiny. It's just the perception that we have that if it's not, or if it is. So everything's always beautiful and everything's always sparkly and shiny, but do we actually notice it? So if you find yourself in this feeling of I want to feel grateful and I want to have gratitude, but I'm just not feeling it. The first thing is that I like to do is check in with yourself. So check in with the basics. Am I well hydrated? Have I gotten enough sleep? Have I been eating enough? I know when I get really busy, sometimes I don't eat enough. Or have I been eating good quality foods, right? You may be like, oh yeah, I've actually had pizza 3 times this week, or takeout, or whatever. And maybe that's not the best thing to nourish your body. So checking in with those 3 things. And then checking in with your emotional being. So recently, hold on, Thistle's barking. Thistle, come in here. So recently I heard of this technique called the Phoenix technique. Hold on. Come on, little dog. Get in here. The Phoenix technique. And this is a cool technique to try to check in with your emotions and your vibrations. So if you, for example, are walking down the street and then all of a sudden you start feeling really cranky and you're like, what? I was feeling really good and I was feeling in receptive mode and I was feeling really full of gratitude, and now I'm feeling cranky. A thing to ask yourself is this mine? So, is this feeling mine? Because we're all energetical beings. We pick up on other people's energy, and sometimes we're not even aware of it. So checking in with yourself and being like, is this even mine? And it's really cool. Your intuition will just snap in and be like, yes or no. So if your intuition's like, no, then what you do is you say, return to sender with compassion and love. And I actually did this yesterday, or was yesterday, or the day before yesterday. And I was blown away. I had an interaction with somebody, and then after I felt so cranky and irritable and rushed, and I was like, why am I feeling this way? And then I was like, is this mine? And then my intuition was like, nope. And I'm like, return to sender with gratitude and love. And literally the heaviness lifted away. It was phenomenal. So let's say you check in with yourself and you're like, is this me? And then your intuition's like, oh yeah, yep, this is you. Then you can ask yourself, can I let this go? And so within this technique, there's a visualization. So you visualize yourself, holding maybe red balloons in your hand. And then you say, can I let this go? And you say yes, and then you let go of the red balloons and they float away. And when you do that, you're engaging your muscles, you're opening your hand, and then replacing it with something really lovely and really beautiful that you love. So it could be flowers, it could be, I picture like gemstones in my hand for some reason. It could be anything that brings you joy and happiness. So the basics: hydration, sleep, food, emotions. So if you're in kind of this good mode and you're like, okay, I'm well hydrated, I'm feeling good, but I'm still not quite grateful, this is kind of a hack to get you into that mode, and you do it every single morning when you're lying in bed. So every single morning when you wake up, first thing, 3 things to be grateful for. And I know a lot of people that write lists, like write down 5 things you're grateful for, and that works for some people, but I find lying in my bed, half awake, kind of groggy, that's an awesome time to give gratitude. So it could be like, oh my goodness, I feel so warm and cozy in my bed. Like, this is amazing. I have all of these blankets to keep me warm. I have a little dog, as you just heard, Thistle. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful I have this little being sleeping at the foot of my bed that brings me so much joy and happiness. He really is such a light. If you look behind me, I have my plants here. And so it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm so grateful that I have amazing plants. I have other plants in my room too that, bring so much vibrancy and green into my life. I'm so thankful for the way the sun's shining through the window. And so it's those little things in your bed, first thing when you wake up in the morning. And as you start to do this, other things will come to mind. Like, I'm so grateful that I have a job I like and I get to get up and go to my job. I'm so grateful that I just cleaned my car and I get to go into a new clean car. So it could be really anything. But once you start to do that, little by little, you'll notice yourself becoming more grateful for everything around you. Everything will be like, wow, and then this, and then this. And then I truly believe, like I said, the more grateful you are, the more appreciative, the more you recognize all the beauty and abundance around you, more beauty and abundance is called into your life. How can it not be? So I hope you all are having such a beautiful Monday morning. I hope your week starts off beautiful and you have many, many lovely, fun adventures throughout the week. I love you all so, so much, and I will see you next Wednesday. Not Wednesday, Monday. Okay, bye.